Remember playing I Spy as a child? I spy with my little eyes something yellow. And then your friends have to look around and try to find the exact item that you see. Now, there could be multiple yellow things in that room, but they have to find the one item that you're locked in on. They must see what you see. And sometimes you mess with them and say something that's either so small that you got to really zoom in on, or not at regular eyesight, like the sun. And you know they won't think about it, but the sun is yellow. And although you were playing with them, trying to make it hard on purpose, ultimately, you did that for one of these three reasons. A, you didn't want them to see what you saw. B, you didn't want them to figure it out so quickly. Or C, you weren't playing around at all. You did have your eyes set on higher things. And that's the subject of today's message. Adjust your eyesight, because it's beyond what you see. Now let's visit each of these perspectives as types of people and see where you fall. Last week, we talked about first seeing you differently than how you have been seeing yourself. Seeing yourself more of how God sees you and less how others have conditioned you to see or think of you. Because how you think is how you will see. Well, in the I Spy game, how you see your situation is challenged. I spy with my little eyes something yellow, and I'm envisioning the sun. Now, there are some people who would choose the sun because they are point A kind of people. You didn't want others to see what you saw. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 7 through 14, there is a passage of scripture where Paul was explaining to the people of Corinth that although he was a messenger sent from God, he would never boast in that great power. I mean, if you're going to boast and brag about something, the Lord himself sent me. He's not like someone who takes what he has and know about himself to make someone else feel less than. He states that such people look on the outside of themselves to declare their greatness, what they look like, what they can do, their money, their possession, and seem bold in their speech. But when you get in their presence, they're really not that powerful or fascinating. And we know some of these people because they weren't what they claimed to be. They were just a puffed up version trying to make others buy into their importance by throwing around their accomplishments. Now let that simmer for a second because I know you already identifying that person in your mind. Now, Paul goes on to mention that his authority isn't so he could boast about having authority, but that he may be able to help others. See, some people say, I spy with my little eye something yellow, and it's the sun, because they are in a position in their life where they have finally arrived at their next level. They've acquired the wealth that they were searching for. They made it to the top, but they don't have it in their heart or their mind to help anyone else see the sun. It's like a boasting position. I can see it, but you can't. Now see, it's lonely at the top because you're not trying to help anyone else get up there. You want to be the only one to see. But let's be honest. The vision God gave you wasn't for you. It was for the ones connected and assigned to you. You can't afford to see the sun and hope no one else sees it as well. Don't become upset when others figure it out or want to share in the vision because it wasn't to make you big in the first place. It was to draw all men unto Christ. He said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. So you're just being elevated so that he can be exposed. When he places gifts, talents, and visions inside of us, it's to bring him glory, that we may reverence him and bring our gifts back to him. As he elevates us, he is being elevated. Now the sun, you can see. That's fair if that's what you see. But don't become contempt when others see it too. The oil didn't just fall on you. You are not the only person that can lay hands on the sick and they recover. There are many members, but one body. We are all important. Now, you thought about that business idea? So did they. You thought about a book concept? They thought about another one too. You thought about the idea that would help the company that you work for, and others can assist to bring it to pass. You don't have to do it by yourself. The word says one will send 1,000 to flight, but two can send 10,000 to flight. Now, I don't know about you, but I know I need assistance because I'm trying to send about 10,000 plus the flight. Do you hear what I'm trying to tell you? So that means I'm going to need some more paper. I cannot afford to play I Spy with my little eye by myself and others not see. Now, the second reason that you may spy with your little eye something yellow, and it's the sun, is if you are point B type of people. You didn't want them to figure it out so quickly. Now, you didn't mind them seeing what you saw. You didn't mind them getting the wealth as well. You didn't mind them buying another home or a home about the same size as yours or on the same block as yours. You didn't even feel, no kind of way when they got married about 6 months after you did. And they had their first baby or they're growing their career. No, you don't mind them flourishing, right? But you want to be the first one to do it. You'll share the light, but you don't want it to shine on no one else first. You want it to shine on you first. Now let's think about that for a second. A point B kind of person will eventually share the secrets of success with people. Eventually. They will eventually reveal the tips and the tricks that can help somebody else reach this level of wealth. This person will eventually use their gifts to help others. But what's first important is that they get it first and then show others that they got it first while others are still trying to figure it out. Not only do they want to be the first ones to get it, to obtain it, to reveal it, to know it, they are well aware that at some point they're supposed to help other people. But what comes into mind first, let me get it. Let me show y'all I got it before y'all did. Then I help y'all to see. You got to be careful of this kind of person. They do not mind if you wander around in the dark. See, the person from point A, they wanted to keep you in the dark. They didn't want you to see the sun. But the point B type of person, they'll turn the light on so you can see. But they enjoy seeing you sightless even for a little while. It makes them feel special and validated that they broke the code. Have you ever had that one family member who made it out the hood first, made it off the block, got out the neighborhood, moved out the house first, went off to college, made it out, but act like they can't call nobody? You can't call nobody. They get the goods, they disconnect ties, and then eventually they reach back. Now, this is not to be confused with the one that leaves to gain the knowledge. They go tend to the field, so then when they reach back, there is something to give. So don't get this confused with, well, I'm just trying to make it out for my family, and then No, I ain't talking about you, boo. I'm not talking about the one that's like Abraham, who was told to leave his homeland and go build, or Joseph, who was sold off to slavery that later benefited his family. No, the point B person is not likening to these men, because these men, they were leaving out of necessity for the building up and saving of their people. So if you are somebody who made it out for the purpose of reaching back and saving your family, and that was in your heart and you knew that's what you were doing it for, baby, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the type B person who left without the initial heart or the initial mindset that I'm leaving to prepare a place. I'm leaving to learn and bring it back. I'm building to create room. I'm the generation curse breaker, which means I'm going to be the one that's going to change this family's needs to see so that I can reach and teach the next generation. Now, Hosea chapter 4, the whole chapter now, is a passage that records God speaking against Israel. In this biblical time, they were falling away. Now, these folks were like God's chosen people. Not like they were. He delivered them out of slavery. They were, trying to make it to the promised land. They spent so many years not listening, not obeying, not trying to follow. They were just like a give me now. I want to see it now type of people. They couldn't go through the journey, the process. They couldn't toil. They couldn't learn the lesson. Because of that, they ended up, taking a long time to get to their promise, taking a long time trying to see. They spent a lot of years in the dark, wandering around. They were not being loyal to God. They were lost. And they were unkind. And he finally had to say, what is happening? This is happening because ain't nobody teaching you any better. No one is teaching you. Those that knew God and had an experience with him, they knew the law. There were even priests that were supposed to be praying and interceding on their behalf. They weren't doing their job. They weren't shining. They wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. They kind of got like lost in self because they knew they were the ones who were called. They were the ones who had the power. They were the ones of boast. And in that time, you had to go and bring your sins to the priest, and then the priest went before the Lord on your behalf. And in this point, the people in the authority, they stopped shining. So the people started perishing. To zoom in on that point, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, the Amplified version, says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge of my law, where I reveal my will, because you, the priestly nation, have rejected knowledge. I will also reject you from being my priest. And let me break that down for a minute, okay? The people that the priests were assigned to are not able to develop and grow, therefore are destroyed, because the priest is not sharing the law, the wisdom, the instruction, or the knowledge, which is where God's will for these people's lives will be revealed. I have to turn the light on and let you shine so that I don't just have a vision for my life, but so that you can also see the vision for yours. The priest rejects knowledge because there are times that the person that is supposed to help you aren't open to receive, or they're getting too puffed up in themselves that they can't hear from God anymore, or even take in the fact that someone else can speak to them. This is that person that feels like they know it all. They got it all. They don't need your help. They went to the college. They got the information. I know how to do this. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been doing this for 20 some years. Be careful of the ones that are uncoachable around you. We are ever students, even when we are called to teach. Do not be responsible for the people perishing because you won't share your knowledge, your testimony, or you stop receiving knowledge and you don't want assistance. Now, To be inclusive, you also have the type of person from point B that allows you to see what they see, but only for a little while. See, these people, they turn on the light. But if you don't get it in their time frame, if you don't see when they want you to see, if you don't pick up what they're putting down immediately, they turn their life back off and call it lost hope. Now, they are willing to teach you. They want to show you. They want to help you. But if you don't grow when they think or do it as quickly as they want you to, or if you're taking too long to get it, they will abort the mission and stop pouring into you. This looks like stop answering the phone call. They walk away from the situation. They didn't understand the assignments. They forgot that one person plants the seed, another waters it, and God gives the increase. Now, yes, we need to understand when someone is draining you, right? When it's appropriate time to be like, ma'am, it's time for you to fly. Bruh, you're going to have to step out and sink or swim at this point, okay? We are not supposed to be people that someone leeches off of and they never develop and grow for themselves. We don't need someone latching on and they're not gleaning. They're just hanging on. But this is when discernment has to come into place. This is why you pray over discernment whenever you are trying to help someone or trying to reach back. Because before you shine your light, ask God if that dark corner belongs to you. Are you responsible for those people? So you got to be careful because they may not be assigned to you. Are they a part of your assignment is what you need to ask. Are they the assignment? The ones you're actually supposed to reach? Because if they aren't, you will become frustrated when they don't get it. When they seem to not want to listen. Or they're just hanging on but not learning. Because you have started teaching the wrong students. They're not in your class. So you got to go find your class. Because the ones that you're assigned to, they will get it. And you will be able to turn the light on and walk away at the time of flying and leave the light on. That means you will teach them what they need to know. You understand one person plants a seed and the other one waters it and God gets the increase. So you're not tripped up about which person you are in that journey. You're not tripped up about trying to give them the increase because you're not God and you realize that you play a role in the part of their life. So when it's time for them to actually fly, when it's time for them to actually move forward in the thing that they're trying to obtain, you leave the light on and walk away. You know, this is the test time and the teacher doesn't talk during the test. So you let them go through it, but you stay connected for further assistance. You stay connected for a refresher course. You stay connected in case they need prayer. You stay connected for encouragement. You stay connected because you came upon a new tool and you're trying to teach them the new tool. Point B type of people are only point B type of people because no one left the light on for them. So they don't know what it looks like to give back. They only know what they've been taught, what's been modeled before them. Sometimes people teach you that you go get yours. I'm going for mine. Do it just for you. This is all about you. That is not the energy we want to put out because you're teaching somebody else to be a point B type of person. Did nobody look out for me, so why I gotta look out for somebody else? That was taught to you. That was modeled before you. It was modeled before you because you didn't have anyone teaching you. So through the lack of, you learned. Now let that simmer. Through the lack of, you learned. See why that is so important to make sure that you are a teacher? Because no matter what, you gonna learn something. You're either going to learn from the lack or you're going to learn from the pouring in, but you're going to learn. And in order to be the generational curse breaker, you have to understand that you had a lack or you had mismodeled experiences. But I will not allow someone else to learn the lack lesson. I want them to actually learn a lesson. So I'm going to intentionally leave the light on. All is not lost, so fret not. We have the point C type of people. You weren't playing around when you said, I spy with my little eyes something yellow, and it was the sun. You actually had your eyes set on higher things. If you've ever been around point C type of people, you realize to that person, the sun is the most obvious choice. Like, how can you not guess? It's the largest thing in the room. How can you not guess the sun? You get frustrated with the people around you who are not seeing. You start giving them hints. You walk right in front of their face and look up. You may even give another hint like, it's not on the ground. No, you cold. I'll tell you when you get hot. I'll tell you when you get warmer. Because I want you so bad to see what I see. And I'm just like, I don't understand how you're not seeing it. I don't get it. You don't desire that only you have the vision. You weren't trying to be slick when you said the sun. You're not trying to be the smartest person in the room. Pride is not the compass of the point C type of person's heart. That type of person wholeheartedly want them to see this yellow option. They wholeheartedly don't understand why they can't assume the sun is the only yellow option. But that's because they don't see how you see. The people around you are not looking in the same direction that you're going. See, you are expecting that the group of people that you hang with every day and talk to every day can process and see on the level God has gifted you to imagine. So because of that, you get frustrated with them when they don't dream. You get frustrated with them when they don't understand your vision. You get annoyed with them when they can't see greater for themselves because you've completed your eye exam. You've done the inward examination of self that has freed you to see how God sees and what God sees for your future, which is greater, bigger, no limits, no bounds, reaching higher heights, impacting the world as the light, a source of energy. And although you thought that you and your friends had so much in common, they can't see past the lemon tree. Now see, they got their eyes off the ground, okay? They elevated their sight just enough to see beyond ground surface level stuff, right? But not high enough to see themselves actually achieving. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of men. I spy with my little eyes something yellow. I see the sun, but my friends see a lemon tree. Let me tell you about this lemon tree. It grows up to at least 20 feet. It requires 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight to grow. It takes up to 6 years to produce this fruit. And in order for proper harvest, you have to plant it in the spring to avoid harsh winters and those extreme summer temperatures. Now, the majority of lemon trees cannot sustain any temperature under 38 degrees. Their growth also depends on their growing zone, the area they were planted, or the state, the environment, the climate, and when they were located. So basically, the lemon tree can only withstand certain conditions. You can't be planted in any season. It takes years to produce fruit. And ultimately, your ability to grow and withstand depends on the area in which you were raised. I mean planted. And in all that, it still requires the sun. Do a little inventory for me. Which friends do you surround yourself with that have a lemon tree mentality? That they can only see the lemon tree as the option. Because it reminds them of what they see when they look inward. I can only see myself accomplishing what I believe for myself. And if I don't have greater, bigger, eyes have not seen belief for me, if I don't see myself more than what others have spoken in my life, if I don't see myself, I won't see nothing bigger than a lemon tree. I can only grow in particular seasons and conditions. If this season isn't conducive to what I think, then I won't do well. I'll fail. I'll die. I'll lose hope. See, now fear is talking to you. Fear has come in. It has to be the right condition every time. Whenever I think about doing something, whenever I think about going somewhere, whenever I think about a big move or it has to be the right conditions, or I can't make it happen. Or maybe it's the parents you gave me, God. That's why I can't go nowhere in life. I was planted in this family. This is the neighborhood I grew up in. This is as far as my environment will allow me to go. I don't know what is capable outside of here because I've never imagined myself getting outside of here. So the fruits I produce and the growth that I have is based on the area that I'm locked in. You have allowed that inward reflection of yourself, how you view yourself, how you view what you can have, your ability, the lack of those positive thoughts about you. You've allowed those to actually create unhealthy boundaries, restrictions, a lack of audacity for more. There's a particular gospel artist that I really like, and when I was in my early 20s, I came across his album when he was doing a live concert in Africa, and the album is called Alive in South Africa. His name is Israel Houghton. His song says, "No limits, no boundaries. I see increase all around me. Stretch forth, break forth, release me. Enlarge my territory." That is the sun mentality. That is I spy with my little eyes something yellow, and it's the sun. There are no bounds, no restrictions, endless possibilities, imaginations ready to be imagined, always shining in every season. It doesn't have to be a particular season for you to shine. It doesn't have to be the right conditions for you to be able to endure, because the sun can cause that storm and that weather to change. It doesn't require better conditions for growth. It creates better conditions for growth. Come on now, somebody get up into that. Are you going to be a creator for somebody? Are you going to create a better condition for your brother and sister to grow, for your child to grow, for your friends to grow? Are you going to create a better condition for growth? Even in the coldest moments of your life, even in the winters of your life, the sun still has purpose, because now you need to pull on its heat. Now it's a source of warmth. Now it's a source of energy. You have friends and family that need you to shine so that they may grow. They need you to not only see the sun, they need you to be the sun, because your ability to see the sun gives them the hope that they can eventually see the sun. Your audacity produces audacity. Your higher thinking produces higher thinking in them. They begin to want what you want. This is how role model works. I see you doing well because you came from where I came from and you look like me, and I see you in that position. Now there's a hope. Now there's a wall that breaks. Now there's a glass ceiling that comes down, because now I can have the audacity to think that I can get to that place, that I can be there, that I can eventually attain that for myself. And they also need you to be the sun, because now you're going to illuminate the plans that they have. Now, because not only did you see the sun for you, but now you're actually the sun for me. So when I have thoughts and ideas of things that I want to do, I'm going to call you and I'm going to run it past you. Hey, I got this idea, this plan. Can you help me strategize this? Because you see the sun and started moving different, the people around you now see the sun through you. Come on, somebody. I need y'all to be somebody's glasses. I need you to be somebody's eyesight. I need you to allow the sun, S-O-N, Jesus, to shine through you and illuminate the plans of others so that they can have vision. God has a will for every man and woman's life here on this earth, or they wouldn't be here. There's a purpose for everyone's place on this earth. And some of those people need to see the sun through you. They need you to help them complete their inward eye exam. They need you to breathe hope into their lives. They need you to encourage them that they can do it. They need you to break them out. They need you to take them to other places so they can see other things, because I don't imagine it, because I didn't even know that it was there to even imagine it. I didn't even know that was possible. So I need you, the sun that I see, the only sun that I have access to take me to places that otherwise I wouldn't even imagine were out there, so that I can start seeing, that I can start desiring that sun. See, the thing about winter months, we know the days can be longer. We know the sun can shine longer. We know the sun can be a good source of warmth. And that's why we yearn for it, because we know we're not getting it all. We know something has changed in our season that is now allowing us to get the sun like we used to get the sun. Come on now. There is something that is changing in your season where you are right now in your life that has shifted, and you're not getting the sun, S-O-N, like you used to get the sun. And now you are in a drought. You're in a lack. You're not shining like you used to. You're not shining like you're supposed to be. You're not shining because you're not getting him like you used to. And this is because there's a shift in the atmosphere. Something is not going just right for you. Something is not in the right conditions for you. Maybe you're not in the right place. Maybe the location that you find yourself right now, you have to break out of to see the sun again. You need to come out of that dark place. Because if you don't desire it first, then you won't even know that there could be light, that there is hope on the other side of this. When you hope for a thing, that's when you start looking for it. But if there's no hope, there's no search. If I don't hope for it, I'm not going to go searching for it. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for. Faith is hoped for. So the thing that you want, the sun that you want to see, the higher thinking, the bigger plans, the better, you have to hope for it. My question to you, are you someone's hope? Are you the sun that needs to shine on someone else so that they can know that they too can become the sun one day? So then they begin hoping and yearning and asking you questions and wanting to glean and wanting to get the information so that they can then grow into a sun. See, this is a lemon tree trying to grow up to be the sun. They want to imagine. They want to reach. They want to expect. They want to believe that when God says, I know the thoughts that I have for you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an unexpected end. God is able to take what you see and change it. He is the giver of life. He is the source of the sun's shining. So he is fully responsible for changing your eyesight. You are responsible for desiring your eyes to change. Now recall, in the part 1, I said that he was your eye surgeon, that he's going to go in and start changing the way that you see yourself and changing your view. The eye surgeon is so necessary. If I can only change how you see yourself, you will have the audacity to use those same eyes to change how you see your situation. See, here's the thing about that. God is not going to change your situation. He's going to change how you look at it. My God. He doesn't change your situation. He changes the way you look at it. He has to change your perspective over it. See, if you see impossibility, if you see this is not going to change, this is not going to turn around, all this is always happening, it's one thing after another, I don't ever have room to breathe, it's always going to be like this, my family is not going to be better, I'm not going to be better, the people down the street getting it, I don't see why I'm not getting it, I don't see how they're coming up, and I'm not coming up, I've been struggling my whole life, man, it's a struggle bus. If that's all I see, he can't just come in and all of a sudden drop $1 billion in your lap and be like, hey, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to see that $1 billion, and then you're going to see all the problems that come with it to. Because now you have the money and then you think it's going to fix this, you think it's going to fix that. I don't have enough. This ain't going to be enough. See, I got to help this person, I got to help this person. See how your eyesight ain't changing? You're still seeing problems, you're still seeing lack because of the perspective that you're seeing through. So he comes in and he changes your eyesight. So now when you look again, you see it differently. Yes, right now I'm in the struggle bus, but I no longer will be on this bus. Let me make the changes I need to make. I want more. Let me do the research to figure out how to do this. Let me get the research to figure out how to do that. How do I sign up for this class? How do I enroll in that? How do I apply for that job? How do I move this mountain? Now I got questions. I'm not just allowing myself to be. I'm asking for more. Some of you need to look at that situation again through a different pair of eyes. Once you begin to see yourself as greater, as healed, as delivered, as smart, as intelligent, as creative, as beautiful, you will then begin to see that situation as possible. Let me be the one to create that extra piece. See, now that works better. See, now that is more organized. See, now that has a different groove to it. See, now you can see the change and then you can be the change. What person are you in the game? I spy with my little eyes something yellow. Are you the type who doesn't want anyone else to see? Are you the type that doesn't mind if they see as long as you see first? Or are you the type that want them to see and you're helping them to see and you're encouraging them to see and you're lifting them up so that they can see? God wants to enlarge our territory. He wants you to stop being familiar with where you are. Stop expecting safe, because safe is where you're in control. He wants you to expect the unexpected, to desire what God desires for you, to be comfortable with unfamiliar places, because there is so much more that you can do when you don't know what's going on, because now you have room to create and to imagine. Take the limits off and release you so that you can release God. See, when you don't think that you can, you want to allow God to show you that he can. When you don't think you can, you will not release God to show you that he can, because you'll be too afraid and too scared to step out there. So don't even show me. Don't even tell me. I don't hear. Because I don't even want to try to imagine, because I don't even think that I can. But the moment you step outside of what you see and start seeing beyond what you see, you would allow him to start showing you things. And you're going to be like excited. Okay, God, I see you. Now what we do? How we getting there? Show me. I'm ready. That's where he wants you to be. He never intended for you to be a lemon tree. You were always supposed to be the sun. You're always supposed to shine. Always. Don't allow your situation, people, or things to dim your light, turn off your light, or keep you in the dark. Adjust your eyesight so that you can see beyond what you see.